All right, everyone. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me today. Before we dive into the layers of media hypocrisy, institutional bias, and the relentless obsession with Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, we need to begin with what has now become one of the most talked about GB News moments in recent memory. I'm talking about that viral clip, the one where comedian Archie Manners steps into the studio, completely transforms the atmosphere without even raising his voice, and exposes the hollowness of their outrage machine in real time. It's the clip where Patrick and Jane, two people who have practically made Meghan their full-time occupation, find themselves speechless, blinking under the weight of their own contradictions. That moment is more than entertainment. It's a case study, a live demonstration of what happens when the performative outrage industry is caught off guard by actual logic. First, I'll break down what happened, and then we'll explore exactly why this single moment tells us everything we need to know about the British media's calculated dependence on Meghan Markle. Now that you've seen the clip, let's talk about what actually happened beneath the surface. Archie Manners didn't come into that studio to start a fight. He didn't raise his tone, he didn't posture, and he didn't attempt to dominate the space. He walked in with the ease of someone who knows he doesn't need theatrics to shut down nonsense. Patrick, in his usual dramatic fashion, begins with this weary line. "Well, she keeps doing TV shows." The tone alone is a performance, as if Meghan personally invaded his living room and forced her Netflix content upon him. But what makes the moment stunning is that it shows us the absurdity of the complaint. Meghan is a public figure. She is a producer, a creator, a storyteller. She makes content. That is literally the nature of her work. The shocking revelation is not that Meghan appears in media, it's that Patrick is watching her every move with unprecedented devotion. Archie simply held up the mirror, and for the first time, Patrick had to look directly at the truth he's been trained to avoid. The brilliance of Archie's clapback lies in how disarmingly calm it was. When Patrick mutters, "Well, she keeps doing TV shows," Archie responds with what should be the most obvious sentence in television history. "Well, don't watch them then." No shouting, no drama, just a simple exposure of the logic gap. And when Archie followed up with, "You do TV shows," lots of people don't watch that either. The entire internet collectively inhaled at the elegance of that shade. It was the type of truth that slices so smoothly the person doesn't even realize they're cut until a moment later. Patrick, who usually has a reheated monologue ready for every occasion, was absolutely silent. A man who thrives on talking suddenly had nothing to say, because Archie didn't attack his career. He dismantled his argument. He didn't belittle him. He placed a truth in front of him that he had no tools to counter. Then comes Jane, eager to jump in and save the sinking ship. She begins telling a story that she seems convinced will validate her anti-Meghan stance. She was visiting her mother in the hospital, opened the Daily Mail, saw Meghan's face on page 3, and, in an act she clearly believes is profound, skipped to the Aldi meat pie advertisement. But here's the issue. Her entire point only reinforces Archie's original argument. If you don't like something, you turn the page. No meltdown, no monologue, no 24-hour broadcast cycle dedicated to it. And Archie's response, while understated, was devastating. With a polite expression and a tone dipped in patience, he simply reminded her how newspapers work. If you don't like it, you turn the page. And when he added gently, "I can teach you how to do it," he delivered one of the most iconic comedic moments of the year. It exposed the truth. Jane wasn't making a point, she was performing indignation. The outrage was not organic, it was scripted, curated, and delivered for effect. This is where the entire ecosystem becomes psychologically fascinating. For years, these presenters, commentators, and so-called analysts have repeated the same mantra. Meghan annoys us. They chant it with the determination of people trying to convince themselves of a lie they know isn't landing. But Archie unintentionally cracked the code. People do not obsessively consume content that genuinely annoys them. You do not watch every show, read every article, click every update, memorize every gesture, and debate every frame of someone you dislike. Hatred does not produce devotion. Dislike does not create ritualistic monitoring. What we are seeing is obsession disguised as irritation, a fixation dressed up as critique. They watch Meghan more intensely than her fans do. They study her the way scholars analyze literature. They track her with a consistency that borders on academic discipline. This is not annoyance. This is attachment. At this point, it becomes impossible to deny that Meghan is not just their favourite topic. She is their revenue stream. When Archie pointed out, "You talk about her because it gets clicks and views," he punctured the illusion the media desperately clings to. These outlets do not survive by reporting facts. They survive by producing traffic. And nothing generates traffic like Meghan Markle. She is their algorithmic golden ticket, their SEO jackpot, their engagement miracle. Remove Meghan from the content pipeline and half of their programming would collapse. These people do not hate her, they rely on her. She is their business model. Their outrage is not heartfelt, it's scripted. Their criticisms are not moral, they're monetized. Their panel discussions are not debates, they're content farms. Meghan is not the target, she is the commodity. Nothing demonstrates their obsession better than the reaction to Meghan's Christmas special. A warm, festive, joyful series filled with baking, lights, storytelling and goodwill somehow triggered an emotional implosion across the British tabloid universe. Watching fully grown adults rage about a Christmas wreath, a cookie recipe, or a handmade decoration is one of the most unintentionally comedic cultural moments of the year. The average viewer watched the special and thought, "This is cozy." But the deranger ecosystem watched the same special and thought, "This is a threat." And that's the key. Meghan's joy enrages them. Her creativity irritates them, her success suffocates them, her peace destabilizes them. It's not about the content, it's about the fact that she is thriving in a world where they predicted she would fail. Here lies the uncomfortable truth, the truth they whisper behind closed doors, but will never say on air. Their issue with Meghan is not her projects. It is not her interviews. It is not her presence in media. Their issue is who she is. A biracial woman, articulate, empathetic, intelligent, globally respected, who married into an institution built on hierarchy and control, and helped the prince escape from that system. Meghan represents autonomy. She represents the shift of power away from tradition and towards individuality. She refused to be moulded, controlled, or silenced. She left, she rebuilt, she succeeded. And for certain people, nothing is more destabilizing than a woman they underestimated refusing to crumble under pressure. Archie Manners' moment went viral, not because he yelled or confronted. It went viral because he did the one thing the presenters on that panel were unprepared for. He introduced logic into a room built on performance. His simple questions dismantled their entire framework. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If it annoys you, turn the page. If it frustrates you, ignore it. These were not insults. They were truths. And in that moment, Patrick and Jane weren't commentators. They were exposed superfans pretending to be critics. Archie didn't just win the exchange, he revealed the truth behind the entire industry. They are addicted to Meghan. She is their oxygen, their content pipeline, their purpose, and they cannot, no matter how hard they pretend, look out. Hi there, my name is Given, a huge fan of Harry and Meghan. I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. To our loyal subscribers, thank you so much for your continued support. It truly means the world. And if you haven't subscribed yet, kindly remember to do so. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.